All right, so you want to become a licensed real estate agent in the province of Alberta. Well, in our video today, I'm going to explain all the steps that you're going to have to take to start from scratch to finally being a licensed realtor in the province of Alberta. And I'm also going to explain how much it's going to cost for you to get your license and then also keep your license from 1 year to the next. So the first step is to go to the Real Estate Council of Alberta's website. So RECA is the provincial regulator for the real estate industry in the province of Alberta, and they have a few minimum initial eligibility requirements that they require anybody to meet before they will allow you to proceed with the educational steps of the process here. So they want to make sure you're an adult. They want to make sure you're lawfully able to work in Canada, so you need the government ID for that. You have to have a minimum of your high school education and also be proficient in the English language. So once you've met that, then you can go into step 2, which is to create an account with RECA. You log in for the first time, and then there's a few more criteria that they're going to run you through, which the first one is labor mobility. So if you are a real estate agent in another province and want to become licensed in Alberta, you may be able to skip the education steps, and they will review that in the labor mobility part. There's also a suitability review where they want to find out if you got a criminal record or if you've done anything nefarious or anything that would keep you from being able to be licensed in the province. They're going to do that there. And then the last one is whether or not you've completed your educational requirements in order to become a realtor. So once you have passed the sort of initial screening and RECA says you're an okay person, we'll allow you to be a realtor, then you would go to the Alberta Real Estate Association website, because they are the ones who now look after the educational resourcing and courses for new licensees in the province of Alberta. So there's 2 courses that you have to complete at a minimum there. The first one is the fundamentals of real estate. So it's about 120 hours to complete. It's the biggest one. It costs $800 to do. And then the next one, if you want to be a regular residential realtor, would be the practice of residential real estate. That costs half as much and takes about 80 hours to do. And those would be the 2 minimum courses that you have to have in order for RECA to give you a license to trade in residential real estate. Now, you could also become licensed to trade in commercial real estate or rural real estate like acreages or farmland. It's also possible to get your property management designation if you want to do property management. So those courses are also available on the Alberta Real Estate Association website, but we're not going to get into those today because the 2 minimum that you have to be a conventional realtor in the sense that most people think of it are the fundamentals of real estate and the practice of residential real estate. So once you've completed those 2 courses, now RECA will say you've met your educational eligibility. Now you got to pay up. You got to pay up your registration fees to get in. It says in here what you need to have. Now this is kind of complicated, but the line that you're looking for is this one: new license and registration for a broker, associate broker, or an associate, which is what you will be if you're coming in for the first time. You're going to pay $750, which is your $475 licensing fee, and then $175 and another $100 for your REX and assurance funds. So these are funds that are there to look after consumers in the event that a realtor does something that they shouldn't be doing or misses something that really burns a consumer. Well, then the industry has this fund in place that will come in and bail out that consumer so that the real estate profession doesn't look bad because one person made a mistake or did something to cause a consumer to have a poor experience. So that's what your REX funds are for. Once you've paid with RECA, well, now Area wants their piece of the pie, so they're going to charge you fees for the Alberta Real Estate Association, but then you'll also see here there's the CREA, the Canadian Real Estate Association as well. So CREA actually looks after all of Realtor.ca and is kind of like the hub for all of the various associations all over the entire country, but they leave the fee collection to Area in the province of Alberta. So you'll do that there. And then, of course, there's CREB, the Calgary Real Estate Board, that you will need to pay fees into as well. And they have a nice and tidy little table here that basically provides the amount that you should expect to pay depending on the month that you join the industry. So if you were to join in the month of April, it's going to cost $1,656.15. But you can just depending on the month that you come in, it just varies just a tiny little bit as they prorate some things. Then, of course, the GST implications as well. Now, in addition to your initiation fees, there's monthly systems fees that you need to be prepared for. CenturyLock, Krebs, System Management Fee, Pillar 9, all of these things are the tools that realtors use during the normal course of business. You know, accessing properties with the CenturyLock system, booking showings, searching up properties and historical sales data for clients. So all of that stuff needs to be paid for on a monthly basis, and Krebs will charge you monthly in order to do that. So here's the big schedule of all of the different fees that you're going to incur. But what you need to be prepared for the first time you're getting licensed, and it's the most expensive year because you're doing a lot of things here for the first time, is all of these fees that we have up here, plus the Krebs monthly tech fee, which is 12 months worth of the tech fee. This is what it's going to cost you for your full year, $6,437, depending on what month you join. I've put an estimate in here of $1,600 for that, depending on, you know, basically just like an average of some of these months in here that's on the schedule. But it's listed here at $1,600, so it can be up or down depending on the month that you join. So around $6,500 is what it's going to cost you to get your license. Now it says down here your ongoing fees are down here. Your annual cost is about $2,400. That's your RECA renewal, and then your area renewal, and your Krebs annual renewal, and then of course the monthly fees each year too. So every year after your first year you pay about $6,500. Every year after, it's going to be about $2,500 to keep your license from 1 year to the next. So why would you do that? Why would you go through all of this stuff? Well, if you're looking at the average prices, the average price at the beginning of the year here in Calgary were $520,000, and one commission check for that. In Alberta, we use a tiered system for commissions. So one full end before brokerage, split costs, and everything would be 3.5% of the first 100,000, 1.5% of the balance of sales price. So $9,800 would be your gross commission for the sale of a $521,000 property. So you can make it all back in one sale. And so if you've got a passion for real estate and a passion for entrepreneurialism, you shouldn't let the licensing fees hold you back from getting into this industry. It can be a ton of fun. And if you'd like more information on what it's like to be inside the real estate industry, in particular what brokerage you're with, I'm with Real Broker. I've had a fantastic experience there. Feel free to reach out to me with the link in the comments below. If you found the video to be informative, you could give me a like and possibly even subscribe to my channel. Thanks very much for watching, and we'll see you next video.